surrounded by gilded mirrors, Jacobean chest of drawers, lovely 17th century hall tables. I was lucky enough to have that as just part of my normal day life.
I'm Robin Johnson, and this is Yours for the Making, and I'm joined by Sean Phelan, mirror maker.
It's not all about making money. It's about making something that you love. If I could get someone to feel with their eyes and feel what I feel, then I'd be happy.
This show tells the story of the makers, the people that create things, whether it's in wood or metal, whether they're artists or musicians or chefs. It doesn't matter. I'm going to tell their story.
Maybe I'm old school in the sense that some people weigh their rabbit skin glue and they do it that way. I'm very much visual. I'll drop the right amount in the can, mix it up, very, shake it up, watch it go pop. The same with like cooking. I love cooking, and I don't time it. I don't time anything.
Just look at it.
Just look at it. It's ready. It's good.
I'm Robin Johnson, and this is Yours for the Making, and I'm joined by Sean Phelan, mirror maker, gilder, mirror gilder.
Gilder originally. It started in 1996. And
that was the year I started secondary school.
Yeah. I'm going to be a very young 55 in September.
Oh, wow. Good for you.
With a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old, I'm doing well. Anyway, yeah, I started gilding in 96. Learning how to do it, and learnt on New King's Road in London through a guy called through Hurlingham Antiques. There for a couple of years and then set up on my own on Lily Road in Fulham with all the antique shops.
Wow. In the 90s?
In the 90s. And it was vibrant then. It was really very, there was lots of street activity, you know, people coming up, the Americans were coming over. So always busy gilding for New King's Road, Pimlico, and sort of another sort of antique dealers doing antique period pieces. Especially convex mirrors, Georgian ones.
So, in a nutshell, what is gilding?
Gilding is the application of gold onto wood, but prior to it going onto the wood, you'll size the frame, you'll key it, so it's got a surface it can take. You'll then have a rabbit skin glue mix boiled up in water, which gets painted on. Gesso then is applied next, which is whiting powder, rabbit skin glue, but the rabbit skin glue, just try and get it all out, is jellified first, then mixed with hot water. Then the whiting powder is mixed in with that till you get the right continuity. Then you paint that on, let it go off, sand every couple of coats until you have as my friend takes the mickey out of me, I say smooth as ice, like a skating rink. It has to be, because it will show any blemish if it's not completely smooth.
So you build up the layers. It's not just
build up the layers as you go. You can't put gesso on thick because it's just lumpy. It has to. Each coat is probably half a millimeter, you know, and just gradually coat. And depending on what surface you're gilding onto, sometimes you'll have 6 coats, sometimes you'll have 3. It varies. And you can water gild. I prefer water gilding, because you can water gild straight onto the gesso or bowl. Bowl is another part we'll get to. But then you can burnish it with an agate stone. So you can finish that gold however you wish. You can have it nice and shiny and very sort of garish, or you can knock it back with the bold colour. And by taking it back, you can have the colours coming through the gold. So there's many different ways of...
So when you say water gild, what do you mean?
Water gilding is, so after you've done all your applications onto the wood, you'll have the bowl, which is clay and rabbit skin glue, which is your colour, which the gold will sit on. When you're water gilding, you have water, a pinch of rabbit skin glue in it, and I use methylated spirits mixed up. And prior to dropping each layer of gold on, you'll wet the frame, and then let the gold will vacuum onto that water. Then you'll leave to dry, and then it's because the bowl's laced with rabbit skin glue as well. It goes off hard, and then you can work with it.
Interesting.
So different ways, more fun than oil gilding. With oil gilding, you've got one finish,
Really?
and that's it. You can't burnish it, you can't change it. You can rub it back, but you can't luster the gold and bring a bit more life into it. It's generally a matte finish, unless you've got several coats of lacquer going over the top of it. It's still not the same.
So it's a long process then.
Sometimes you can be gilding to up to 8 hours just with your neck down. Sort of then by the end of it, sort of walking around like a 90-year-old by the end, especially if I'm not getting any younger. But there's different ways of doing it, and finishes are good. Yeah.
And what's the thing that attracted you to gilding in the first place?
I think it's very much. I have a very much magpie person within. Anything shiny, and I grew up with antiques. Luckily enough, I grew up in Norfolk with my grandparents. I was surrounded by gilded mirrors, Jacobean chest of drawers, lovely 17th century hall tables. I was lucky enough to have that as just part of my normal day life. So growing up, I've always been surrounded by antiques, and also having a mother that's drawn me into that world, because from tribal arts to antiquities, she's probably the big great white shark of the lot. All the antique dealers would see her as an antique dealer. She was just collecting because she enjoyed. But I think she was very much an influence as a youngster coming into it.
And I've known you from working together on some of the hotels, restaurants even, sorry. You've adorned, or your mirrors, your convex mirrors have adorned some of the joinery that we put in, and it really sets it off. But how do you go from gilding frames essentially to then producing mirrors?
There's more, there has been that sort of, I've grown, wood frames, there's only so much you can do, but I just find I wanted colour and things to be more exciting, really. So I used to do a bit of église, sort of antiquing on glass. And then I wanted to push the boundaries and start, as you'll see the pieces there, putting colour, shape, and really making, instead of it just being there on a wall, something that actually comes out to you with your lovely work that you do, which you did mention to me a while back, saying, all my lovely walnut work, and it's covered by your mirrors.
Lucky they're nice mirrors, though.
And I was like, yeah, I'm sorry for that.
Well, it's a funny thing, because it's a really, where your mirrors are in this particular project, is a really beautiful walnut burl, which is a really rich timber, especially with the burl grain pattern. It's quite a nice thing to look at. And then the mirror goes on it, and you see little bits in the corner.
Like a centimetre around the outskirts.
I couldn't see the point in specifying such a beautiful burl to be covered by a mirror. And then I saw the mirrors and I thought, actually, these are really nice. And it looks fantastic
We've
altogether.
got so many variations of them now. And also been doing pigments like that glass in the convex mirror. So not changing it from, yes, it's still a convex mirror, but it's moved away from being functional to more art. And that's quite a nice, another expansion to do it, and to do them in the transparent version so they can really lift. So it never ends. There's always something new that comes through.
When did you start doing mirrors as well as gilding?
Mirrors were obviously gilding onto mirror was roughly the same time back in the day. So that was 96 and sort of 98, and then doing some aging. And then it got left for a while, carried on just doing gilding. And then I saw, I think something triggers you. I saw something, and I saw colours in glass, and I'm not sure where now. And I just thought, okay, I'd like to do that with nitrating. And I just started to work out, how am I going to go about and do that? And eventually we found a factory that can do the samples and sample with me. And we took it from there. And now we've got a whole range of new stuff coming through continuously. But more for the commercial world, though.
When did you get into commercial work? Because, I'm imagining a really quaint, very London backstreet workshop in Pimlico or wherever, or Fulham, where you said you were. And then how do you go from there to working on big commercial projects?
It was, I think it was the route through Instagram.
Really? So fairly recently then?
I think I was getting a lot of interest with the new pieces through Instagram prior to COVID. COVID hit, and then everything that I don't know, you get like an anticipation of like, okay, yeah, I can feel we could do some more, or do different things here. And then suddenly COVID hit, and then everything just went flat. So obviously it did. And then I just thought, sort of hankered down a bit, thinking, okay, COVID left, and then it just organically, naturally started to progress. People were picking stuff out that I was doing on Instagram and say, we like that. And it was through Instagram that the commercial work started.
Cool. That's really good.
So,
I never knew that.
Yeah.
I guess I just assumed that you'd always been doing it because your level of professionalism and the volume of stuff that you were supplying to the restaurant.
Yeah, it's about 5-6 years now that I've been doing this. Sort of changed it around completely because I left it, as I said, I left doing the aglamise and I left that behind. And then also, it's different things that trigger you. It's like which this is my passion, but my kids have accelerated my passion. They've literally given me that because, just as a lone gilder, you're not going to be making that much hay. And it's not about, but on the other hand, it's not all about making money. It's about making something that you love. And I don't look to see what other people are doing and what they're making, as in my sort of field. I just do, like, I suppose, my thing.
Which is really quite exciting. I mean, look at some of the samples you brought in on the tables, some fantastic range of colours and finishes, and you showed me earlier, the front and the back of the mirror pieces.
Yes.
Tinted glasses, all sorts of stuff.
The back of the glass is when you make it and then you look at it and you hold it and you suddenly think, by default almost, you look at something, because obviously that's what the finished front, but obviously we showed you earlier, that if we laminated that's another finish again. And I think that is, to a degree, more interesting than the original.
Yeah. So
when sampling, not everything works. Sometimes it is back to the drawing board, looking and learning. Learn as you go along. But yeah, it's fun.
And you said you've found factory to manufacture all of this.
I have a factory that I can do it with, and it's catalogued, so that's good. And we have a business partner over in Asia. And then, as things grow, we started off with one factory, then we picked up another factory, ones that make furniture. We've got 2 or 3 that make furniture, but just bespoke pieces. And then iron factory, cast factory, bronze and brass factory. And the lovely thing is now I'm able to incorporate all those factories together. So I can get one thing made here, it goes to another factory. So it's trying to give finishes and bespoke pieces that ordinarily you wouldn't be able to do. So and I think that's quite, it's quite special in that way.
Had you had any experience dealing with anyone in Asia prior to this?
No.
What's that been like then, that learning curve?
It's been great fun.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've loved it. I just the fact is it's over in Indonesia, and it's I love the fact that people it's how, I don't know how to explain it. It's more about than just work. It is more about just finishes. It's about people as well, which I do find sometimes in this country that the honesty and the faithfulness isn't really there sometimes, but the purity of the characters over there have been amazing. Welcoming, almost you'll come to our house, let's go up the volcano, let's go here, and then we'll pile in 3 or 4 different factories during that day, and we'll have a look at lots of other factories, just so as to keep building. And then it gives you more options to build better and bigger things in the future. So we've got some lovely stone and marble and onyx and red onyx and amber onyx finishes which are going to be incorporated into some of the works coming up this year. So that's fun.
How did you find the first factory or any business partner over there?
I basically saw a picture of something and I went hunting. It took me ages. To find out where that was. And it wasn't to do with any of this. It was just a nitrated aged piece of glass. And off the back of that, I then have started to get him to make different colours, mix different colours, different pigments. And so I've started a whole new bit. Well, we've started a whole new business together out of his old business. Wow. So that's quite fun.
Yeah.
So whenever he calls me up, whenever I call him up and I do a FaceTime, the first time I because I wouldn't say I'm impatient, but I was very much, I've got to get to know this guy because I know that how my head was working, there are possibilities that we could do some great things and make some lovely things together. And I FaceTimed him first off, no message, no nothing. And he's like staring at me like going, who is this guy? And I go, hi, I'm Sean. And he was, hi. I said, I'm going to come out and see you because I think we could do some things together. We could make different pieces of art.
And that was that.
And that was that. And that was 6 years ago. We've not turned back.
That's amazing.
We've got about 100 different products, which still need to be. So if anyone looks at my website, I'm working on it. It still needs updating. I can only get so much done. I've got people helping me, but it's about having the imagery as well.
And your business model is tailored, I would guess, more to commercial. So you'll be working with designers who'll maybe specify a table lamp or a mirror, and you'll sell a quantity for a type of restaurant.
Quantity, I do work with interior, because it's all interior design, but with single sort of interior designers for one-off pieces. I can fit it into the program. I think it's quite enjoyable to sort of go to the studios sort of in London or be where it may be and sit down and I'll show you their specifications of what they'd like to make. And then you'll sit there and then your brain starts ticking of like working out, okay, what finishes, what will work with what, and then come up with a plan and go away to a sample and say, okay, this is where we're at. Generally it works, sometimes it doesn't, but yes, the commercial world's very much of more interest. Yeah, it's good. And yeah, different things dropping in every now and again.
And do you still do a bit of gilding as well?
I've just started to do, funny enough, I'd stepped away from it a little bit because this had really taken off. And then in the Cotswold, there's an artist, lovely old boy, he's 85. I got the call up because his other gilder died, sadly, bless him, of old age. And he said, "Sean, I've got some frames. Would you like to gild some for me?" And I said, "Yeah." The artist in question is a gentleman called Jeffrey Pratt. So if you look him up, he literally does some stunning, vibrant sort of flowers and sort of almost sort of Monet, the lakes and the lilies, and he does all that lovely art. I mean, he is really very good. So it's a nice privilege to turn up and sort of do a sample, and he goes, "Yeah, that's great. We like that." But like everything, there's a price point. Will you pay for it? Yeah, I hope so.
So have you done them? Are you doing them?
I've done it. I've got 4 in the studio, and then there's another 15 apparently waiting for me. Apparently, he'll do 10 to 15 frames a month, paintings.
Blimey, that's not bad. One every couple of days.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've done a batch of 4, but I mentioned to him that say that's a painting. You got sort of different colours in it. He is very much in the traditional, because of the old boy with the gilding. It was very much a Georgian, like sort of burgundy red bowl coming through, and I just said, we can make it more fun. We could put different colours. So we could pick a colour from the painting and put that in the bowl colour. So instead of having a burgundy frame going round with gold and his picture, you could have something that connects the two.
Wow.
People are doing that all the time. That's what the interior designers. And I said, but I can mix the bold colours up. So we could have a lovely green with a blue.
All on the same frame?
All on the frame. And then...
But could you have a bit of green and then going into a bit of blue?
You could do that. I think it could get a bit confused. It could get a bit messy. I think you pick the stronger colour possibly in that picture and then match the bold colour to that. So instead of like framing the picture, the frame is there bordering it, but it's dropping away and the painting's coming out because it's blending a bit. My thought. Someone listening will go, yeah, it's mad.
I quite like the idea of it because that colour will come through, won't it?
Yeah.
You see it. It's not like it's just underneath and you can never see it. It will come through.
You can. I work my gold back and I do it dry simply because you have more control on it with zero wire wool. But literally, your touch is like finger touch. There's no pressure. You will take it back to zero if you take too much off.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that a risk when you're gilding? Can you start again with?
Yeah, you can. Excuse my French. Yeah, you can muck it up quite easily.
Yeah.
Or your mix might not be quite right. You might not have enough rabbit skin glue in your mix. You're meant to, I'm old school in the sense that some people weigh their rabbit skin glue and they do it that way. I'm very much visual. I'll drop the right amount in the can, mix it up, very, shake it up, watch it go pop. The same with like cooking. Love cooking, and I don't time it. I don't time anything.
Just look at it.
Just look at it. It's ready. Yeah. It's good. Most of the stuff's burnt, but
it's black. It's ready.
That's good to go. But so everything is done by eye, and the same with the mirrors, the aesthetics. I think. If I could get someone to feel with their eyes and feel what I feel, then I'd be happy and appreciate.
I think you're doing a good job with the mirrors. They convey a lot of emotion. There's a lot of depth. There's a lot of colour. Like you were saying, this one's a bit moody. I mean, it really is. If I pick it up, this red one it looks like it's about. When you look through the glass, it looks like it could be 3 or 4 inches deep before you see the back. But it's, what's that, 6 mil? Something like that?
5,
6, yeah.
But pretty much on the money.
And the back as well, that's quite interesting as well.
I like the front, but you know what? I've been looking at it and just the nitrate on the back is the whole new element. So that backlit, you get the red coming through, but then if you've got, say, your light in there, the light hitting the front, you'll have the red coming through and you'll have that nitrate, so you'll get a bit of movement and for someone not fully looking at themselves but they can pick out, and it'd be quite a cool look. So yeah, I'm constantly learning. There's obviously, I've got hundreds of different ideas, things to do, and doing it organically. If I had all the money in the world, it'd probably actually destroy some of the process. I have to be patient. I have to wait because there's at least 20 or 30 different things I want to do. And I can't all do it at once.
You want to do everything now.
It is like that. But I think as I've got older, I've realised it's just not feasible.
Just got to slow it down a little bit.
Just slow it down. It doesn't stop the mind pinging away. But yeah. You're looking on and going, oh my goodness.
No, I know. I'm very similar to that. I think I've mentioned on the podcast before, like my long-suffering partner, I'll get home and say, I want to do this. I'm doing this, and this is my next idea. I'm going to buy this machine so we can do this and so we can do that. And she just looks tired now when I tell her. So now I'm very selective and just give 1 or 2 little snippets of information. Otherwise, for someone that's not as excited as I am about the things that I'm doing, I think it's just a bit overwhelming maybe, but...
I have to stop talking when I'm home. or she'll look at me and my eyes are literally attached. And I go sit over there. Don't come near me, don't talk to me, don't even look at me. But yeah, I think it's hard. It's not hard for Kimberly, my lovely wife Kimberly. It must be... It's not hard for me, but it must be quite hard for her because I do run past all these things. And people got to be ready to receive it.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm ambushing her, coming up. What about this?
Yeah.
What about that? And then so she's like, oh, like
I know you've spent the whole day looking after the children, but I've got 500 ideas that I want to tell you about, and I want you to tell me which the best one is.
It's like me. It's like having another 5-year-old close. It's like, I'm not doing the kids. Please stop. But no, I'm very appreciative that I have a very patient wife.
Do you do samples here to send over to the factory?
I have done. And now, not so much, because we've got to a certain level that we know what page we're on. We'll just backtrack to one from previous, and then we'll move on from that. It's got that further on now.
And what's the benefit of Asia? Is it a cost thing? Is it an ability thing? If you were going to, could you find someone in England that could do this sort of stuff?
No, probably not.
And
I think they are out there. This is also something I don't do. I don't go checking to see who's out there, what someone else.
So you just found a picture, and it just so happened that he was in Indonesia, and then you were like, right, well, let's do it.
I'm gonna move forward on this. I've got 1,000 ideas. Yeah, and it is literally that leap of faith, and it's now a business partner, and then we're progressing into so many new facets. You know, with the lighting, we did a lovely. You get alabaster lighting chandeliers. We've just carved a sort of 63 centimetre one out of onyx stone.
Wow.
And the depth of colour that comes through that is so much richer than the alabaster because the clarity's better. Alabaster's more chalky. This is more crystal. It looks great. So that's just the whole, that's just it. We just we're now moving from one subject to another chapter. So there's always new things, and then we're combining them together. So, yeah.
Variety is the spice of life.
The mad world of Sean.
But people love the mad world of Sean because, I mean, I know for a fact a number of interior designers, they can't wait to see Sean bring in all your new ideas because you're coming up with ideas and concepts that no one else is. And for someone, say they want to open the fanciest restaurant in Mayfair or Dubai or New York or wherever it is, those restaurants need to have stuff. They need to have something that nobody else has got. Yeah. For you to walk into a designer's office and say, I've got all these ideas, here's everything, and no one else has done anything like this, take your pick. You know, that's like the best thing ever for an interior designer. It's lovely because you're with like-minded people. And the things that we make, and you're definitely yourself, is that it's bespoke. You know, it's you can't get it off a shelf. And with the lighting, I'm doing these table lamps for Ina, which has taken time because I had to make the whole product from scratch in China for the inserts. All the electronics and
everything. All the electronic stuff. All the cables had to be beefed up because you'd have 6 charging points on one mat. And the testing was just, you know, it's like in a crucible fire sort of environment. And the stuff that came through, all the testing, it was like 80 pages of testing. And I'm looking at this going, oh my God, that's a lot of reading to get through. But it's now made. So now, next chapter is with the because I'd already started doing some lighting pieces. The next chapter is called the table lamps. And we've got about 20 or 30 samples already made to incorporate into and using some of these, because some of these are transparent, so we can make lampshades and do some pretty cool stuff. But yeah, it is garish. Some of the stuff is garish. And that's why the restaurants can do it, because you're there for one evening. Yeah. You're not living, you have to live with it. You're not living with it at home. Yeah. If you woke up every morning, you had that in your face, you'd be going, yeah, that's too much. But for a fun environment, yeah, it's rather good. And how do you, the process of applying the nitrate and the tinted glass, pigmented glass, and then the nitrate, you've got a panel of glass here. Would you apply it to a huge panel and then cut it up first, or would you do little bits like this? If it's like this, we try not to cut it. If it's a big piece, we'll do it in one. If there's smaller panels, we'll do them individually. And how are they cut? Just normal glass cutter.
Score and snap.
Yeah.
Wow.
Score and snap.
Okay.
And then if it needs to be toughened, it'll be score and snapped. If it needs to be toughened, it'll then go away. Once you've got the size, it'll go away, be reheated again to toughen. Then it will come back again and we'll do the finish.
Wow. And then if you wanted to turn this into a lampshade, shape it, would you have to blow it first into the shape and then treat the finish?
These would be rectangular ones at the moment. We haven't quite got our head around bending glass. There will be. That's a whole new angle. It's in the head. It's in the grey matter. It's just how to get there.
Yeah.
We have bought some domed glass, and we've done some color work, but that's still in the process.
I love watching.
Not quite fulfilled yet.
No, well, you've got to have something to look forward to, haven't you? I love watching glass blowing and stuff. I can just imagine the level of complexity that adding pigments to the glass when you're blowing it, because they'd probably burn off, I'd imagine, wouldn't they, at that sort of temperature? Do you pigment the glass when it's still molten then, or?
I think the glass. There's two different types. I think with the glass blowing, the glass is coloured. One way of doing it, and then the other one is enamelling the glass.
Yeah.
And paints. I don't know. In the glassware world, I'm not overly sort of professional, sort of got a professional opinion on it. But yeah, I mean, it's amazing. Blowing the pipes, reheating, and the end of that, the end of the bit they cut off. They make those into the weights, don't they?
Oh, wow.
They do all the decoration. So you get the flowers and all that sort of impregnated into the glass. But yes, I need to, for domed shades and the likes, we're still working on that.
Work in progress.
Work in progress.
And tell me about the furniture, because you talked about lights and stuff, but I know that you're doing a line of furniture as well.
We're doing the furniture. It took a while to find the right factories to carry out the work. But because I was doing the glass, because they're glass topped, I wanted to do the whole thing. It's not so much about not wanting someone else to do it, but it was more the fact that if I'm putting the glass in, I want the glass to fit. I'd like to do the full product. So then it's not passing from one to a third party and then coming back. It's all done in-house and then shipped out. But there will come a time, and I have been speaking with someone recently for Miami. I don't know if you know Andrew Watson. He was talking to me about glass the other week. So still another conversation to be had and see where that leads. Don't know yet.
He is a good facilitator of fine finishes.
Yeah. He's another person in the world, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's based in Portugal. He's doing the same sort of thing that you're doing in Indonesia, in Portugal, I think.
Oh.
Yeah. But because he did all the soft furnishings for all the places that we've done.
Yes. Oh, what, for Gaia as well?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'd spoken to him, just in brief, spoken to him a couple of years ago. Yeah. And then I hadn't heard from him.
Because I think he was doing, prior to this, he was doing some sort of fine finishes or facilitating fine finishes, Eglamise, polished plaster, micro cement, all those kind of things. I think he was lining the right people up and getting those finishes done and stuff. But now I think he's, the Alt Collective, his company, they do the furniture and furnishings for restaurants and stuff. Yeah, all moving in the same world.
We're all rotating. We're like planets.
Yeah, well, that's
Mine's just a little planet at the moment.
On the moon.
I'm just that little speck. But that funny enough, talking about, you mentioned resin. I've just found a new resin, and we've started making some molds for table lamps, but doing some really fun sort of blues, greys, silvers, which the lovely thing about it is you can go away, you can carve a piece, have that, and then a mold put around it. And then from that you can roll out lots of different sort of styles and finishes, especially for like beach clubs and that. Just, the mind keeps ticking. We'll stop.
And what's next? What's the? I mean, I know you want to talk about moving and heating and molding the glass, but on the bigger picture, what's next?
I think it's people finding. I mean, not that many people. I mean, I've got a few followers, but not that many people still know about me. I'm not the best at promoting myself. If that makes any sense. I mean, I do the occasional here and there. I actually hit it quite hard the last few days because I was doing the podcast with you. Going to be doing the podcast. I thought I better start gilding, start doing all that. But it's to do more commercial work. I feel that I'd love to see my finishes in restaurants and for more people to see them.
Yeah.
You know, it's not about, we all have to make money and we all have to live well, to bring your kids up into something that's organic in its way and basically get them to see the things that you do. Instead of just working in an office, they can go out and see all this. As they get older, all like going, yeah, you did that. But I think it's important for me to just have my pieces, not everywhere, but just in select places. It's fun. I enjoy it.
If you could see your pieces anywhere, where would you want to see them?
I won't say at home. I don't know, actually, to be honest. I haven't really visualized, or I don't go as far as that. I think I'm more in the moment of being with the pieces. And then it's hard to place it. But it's when people come to me and they say, we're doing this project. Could you do something? Because with Richard at First Within, I've specifically changed some of the glass for him. You know, go, I like that, but can we get that kind of a nice sort of cornelian blood red colour in that finish? I'm like going, I'll go away and I'll come back. Give me a week. Let me see what we can do. And then it's great. You come back and you go, yeah, I like that. And then I've succeeded. It's like I've given a finish which can potentially be used in a project further down the line. So I enjoy that, but I am in the moment.
And it sounds like a fun one.
I do try and think ahead and plan ahead, but I think maybe that's how my brain or my mind is structured. I find it quite hard to push further out there, but I've got the ideas.
But you've not got the shop in London anymore. You're based in the Cotswolds now, aren't you?
Yeah, in the Cotswolds. I've got we've got a unit in the Cotswolds and about 4 containers which hold and carry all the new stuff. I've got a contract running with Soho Home, which I sell through a couple of mirrors through them.
Who's that, sorry?
Soho Home. Which has been running for a couple of years, which has been great. You know, I took a couple of mirrors each week, sometimes 3 mirrors, sometimes 1 mirror a week. Goes out. So it's nice. It sort of ticks over. I had another contract with another company, of which I pulled out of because I just didn't really, all respect to them and for not agreeing for one of their reasons, but I decided that it wasn't right for me. But I had about 12, 13 products running straight away with them.
Wow. Okay.
So, but I think you make a decision. You have to stand by it. You don't regret. You just move on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, otherwise you end up it'll consume you. You know.
I don't have that. I've never had that problem. There'll be an initial irritation maybe, and then after that it's like, oh, well, move on.
Is there a part of you that thinks maybe I should get another shop front in London and sell direct?
It's another expense. It's another overhead. It's more people. It's working well as it is now. If I did think about it, I saw a shop front, maybe not in London, but in Chipping Norton. Pretty much, London comes to the Cotswolds every weekend. It's like if I'm next to Soho Farmhouse as well, and literally that place is stampeded every weekend when the sun's out. And if you see someone from the Cotswolds, you'd be lucky.
Really?
Yeah. There's that many. But I've thought about a shop in Chipping Norton, but for the time being,
Well, you've got stuff in Soho Farmhouse, haven't you?
I've
got some mirrors and stuff, haven't you?
that's enough.
I'm not saying because I've been there and I've seen it, but
I've pretty much, I've blessed them, sorry in advance. I've pretty much ambushed Farmhouse in the sense, giggles in the background, as in I've loaned the big convex mirror in the main barn, I've loaned. And then also I've pretty much got every style of convex in there in one facet, in one area or another.
brilliant.
But it's good because it's a subconscious. It shows people. I mean, people don't really. Everything's online at the moment, so people don't really tend to visit, do they? I don't get many visits to my studio.
No.
But that's where the next step is to try and get these probably 100 products plus, which I've got to log and get onto the website, and then so the commercial side's working okay, nicely, and then get the retail side running on my side. Because then you can put stuff, you can put offshoots out of different stuff from the contracts you do. Change it slightly, but yeah.
Do you find that side of it doesn't excite you as much, the retail side?
I'm too buzzy in the moment. I'm chaos, quite frankly. My poor wife sort of looks at me and goes, "Oh no."
Do you think it'd help to have someone, if you took someone on that would just set you up a website, do an online shop, do all of that sort of stuff, just to allow you to do all of that?
It's about getting all the imagery, because there's a lot of it. I've got some imagery coming very shortly with the stuff I've done out in sort of UAE, stuff in Monte Carlo. I am starting to get more imagery in, and then off the back of that I can rebuild the website. And it's geared more towards hospitality, but we still do all the lovely soft bronze finishes on glass, silver, aged. So there is something for everyone, for the commercial world and the home world.
I wonder though, if you were selling more for the home world, whether you'd lose that exclusivity that you've got with the commercial side of things.
Well, that's why the commercial world's really taken the forefront. My silver convex mirrors they sell. I think it takes a brave person to put any of these pieces in their home. In little nooks or something.
Yeah,
you've got a cocktail bar at home.
Exactly what I was thinking of.
Basement.
You open the door and there it is. Yeah, I can see that.
You've got that someone like showing off all their deco set with a bit of jazz.
Actually,
behind it.
I'm working on a project at the moment, and we're making a staircase, and under the staircase that we're making, we're putting it like a small bar, like a gentleman's club vibe bar with his decks and all the records and all the shelves. And it's got a little peep show light that goes down the side. A piece of glass along the back would be perfect, actually. Yeah. So in that sort of setting, it'd be spot on. But yeah, you wouldn't get one just in.
Let me know, and I'll throw one across.
But you wouldn't put this in your bedroom, would you?
No.
Well, not your main bedroom. Maybe if you had like 10 bedrooms, you could put this on like number 10.
What kind of bedroom are we talking about? As you picked the red one up.
It was the closest one. But this is really quite something. Tell me about this one, because this is just...
That's painted.
It's painted on the back.
There's paintwork and nitrate.
Wow.
So literally that is brushwork and, and brush splattering.
That's amazing.
It's a slower process, but it's good. But you can see, the other thing is you can see the brush strokes. And then that, when I do my gilding, actually, when you get those lovely 17th century silver mirrors, and they're kind of the Dutch versions. And to get that kind of aging in the silver leaf, it is literally as simple as obviously speckling with a brush, but also with water, tapping water on it.
Really?
Just patting it down, and then it sounds like the tricks of the trade with a hairdryer, drying it off, and you've got a water stain.
Really?
On your gilding, and then you do the stippling with the different colours, with bronze, black, and other colours. Then you wax over it, And I could show you a bit that I've from brand new gilding to the old piece on it, and you won't see the difference between the two.
Really?
You'll be able to blend it in.
And how are mirrors aged then? Because you've got some mirrors there that are, obviously it's the nitrate, but then it's got kind of aging around the side.
Some of the aging is done beforehand.
On the glass
On
or?
the glass.
Oh, okay.
And then the nitrate behind it.
Ah.
So there's different ways. You've got these, which are the pigment ones, but you can do that with the silvering, but you're mixing the nitrates and pigments wet. So it's going in. So you've got that sort of almost like a lava finish going into it. Which is rather fun.
So what is the actual process of creating a mirror? You know, let's say a bog standard silver mirror. You've got your piece of glass.
Yeah.
How do you apply the silver?
Silvering, you'll be in a tray or in a trough, and you'll literally spray.
You're just spraying silver
nitrate on it,
on.
Fit it back in, you respray it, and then the nitrate, after stick 3 or 4 coats, starts to dry and settle.
And are you drying between each coat, or are you just spraying it? And
It's
then
basically in one go.
wet on wet.
Wet.
Wow.
It's because if once it's dried, it's not going to pregnate through.
Huh. That's really interesting. I don't know why. I just always assumed there'd be some sort of film applied on the back. And
You can put, depending on where it is, with a big convex mirror, which is a farmhouse, which is like 1.5 meters.
Really?
It's foiled at the back, foiled and glued, just in case someone lost a fork up in the air.
Well, you've got 2 problems with spraying the back of a convex. Number one, it'll gather in the bottom, I guess.
It is.
Swilling
it's
it
done
around.
in a drum. You know, it's basically they sit it in a drum, and it's moved around, and it's sprayed, and they move it around. Like just
panning for gold.
Exactly it. They couldn't have done a better analogy if I tried. Yeah.
And then you got silver instead.
Prospecting.
Yeah. You're prospecting for mirror.
Yes. There you go. Hit gold.
But I mean, it's a good idea to hound Soho House, because I mean that's where all the creatives from London go or seem to go. So if your stuff's there, then
Soho Farmhouse and Soho Home were great. There's a lovely girl actually who worked for Soho Home. She's at anthropology now. There's a girl called Amy Scull who came out to see me, and she was the one that got that side of it rolling. So always big thank you to Amy Scull. It's nice when someone sees you and what you do and it sort of appreciates it, because I don't think a lot of people don't get it. A lot of people do, and the few do, and they're the ones that are coming through the door. So it's good.
long may it continue.
I hope so. I mean, I'm really, I think in the journey, I'm only still at the founding part. I think there's a lot more to come.
Super exciting time.
Yeah.
If you were going to give any advice to 18-year-old Sean, what advice would you give, and why?
Failing is to fail, you move forward. Don't be worried about failing at anything. I think from when I left school, with very few exams behind my belt because different sort of medical reasons, which held me back. If I just wished I'd started what I was doing now, 15 years, 20 years prior to what I was doing, because that just, the mind thought of, oh, I won't be able to succeed is a crushing thing. Mm. If you fail, you've taken another step forward, because then you know that doesn't work. We'll try something else. Yeah. So just have a go. Give it a go. You'll only move forward from there.
Brilliant advice.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Take the step.
Take the step.
Take the step.
Sean, where can people find you online? Obviously, we talked about Instagram. What's your Instagram handle?
Instagram handle is quite a long one. It's S Phelan Mirror Gilding. And then my website, which is being worked on, but really it's Instagram. That's where I will. That's
where the magic happens.
That's my portal to the world.
Mine too.
Yeah. And it is. It's a great. And there's lots of other new ones coming through, TikTok and the likes. And
do you do all of that stuff?
Oh, no.
It's hard work.
No,
I find it hard even looking at it, let alone trying to manage.
I don't want to sound silly, but it confuses me.
I can see you, Sean. In a couple of weeks' time, you're going to be in a camera doing these dances, the TikTok dances with some mirror in the way or something.
I do, because I signed up to TikTok and I was looking at it and I was just like going, okay, back to Instagram. And just left it because it's just, it's a young person's, they're wired for it. I'm not mentally wired for that world.
Do you, on Instagram, connect to other gilders and people working in glass and stuff? Do you have that? Do you find kind of contemporaries and that there's almost a community of people in your kind of space? Or
there's a lovely water gilders. You know Gareth at Water Gilders?
I don't know.
He's a lovely guy. He's I haven't spoken to him for a few months, quite a few months. But if I want to ask a question, especially on things on resin and things like that, I'll ask him because he's good. He's been at the game and he does all the work for super yachts and works with some very big interior studios. And apart from that, he's just a really lovely person. So yeah, I do connect with some, not all. We work with glass, but sometimes the world in which that glass is used are completely different worlds. So some of them for churches and doors and lead work. I mean, it's a great skill. I think that I thought about that the other couple of months back, doing lead work in the designs, you know, with a joining with lead and solder. I think that could have a place. Sort of doing some of these finishes, transparent finishes with lead work. And then you could have, I don't know if you can imagine it, you could have the logo of whichever the restaurants it might be written in the lead work, but then the glass cut to the shape and then all pieced together. So you've got what just looks like a lead work frame, but like you've got the name staring at you.
That's very Art Deco. There's a famous French artist that used to do that, wasn't there? The name escapes me, but it's like the absinthe logo in the glass, you know, that sort of thing, that kind of 1930s European Art Deco colour.
I've actually also forgotten her name as well. Who does all this lead work, and she's in Paris. The name will come to me probably by the end of the podcast. But I watch her stuff and I was just thinking, that's really neat and so delicate. I don't know how they do it and they piece everything together. Because sometimes you've got a massive 8-foot sheet. And it's like, all I'm thinking is, how are you going to get that off the table? Or you're going to manoeuvre it around.
And it's flexible. Because
lead's
shake it, it's wobbly.
Lead's soft as anything. You know, you've got to back it into a frame prior to
when
moving
you're
it anywhere.
Building it in a frame, I guess, and then lift the frame up. But, yeah, excellent. Well, probably an alarm saying it's the end of the podcast. So
is that? Thank you for having me.
No, well, thanks for coming on. These are great. These are really, really great. I really enjoyed working with you on the projects that we worked on. I hope we can work on some more in the future as well.
I look forward to that. I hope I haven't made everything too much of a disarray.
No, this is really great.
Blame it on the 3.5-hour journey down.
Well, look, I really appreciate you coming all the way from the Cotswolds.
No, it's been good.
We drove back from Devon at the weekend, and the drive from Devon to about Stonehenge was 5 hours. And then which is probably only 100 miles. And then the drive from Stonehenge back to here was 2.5, 3 hours.
That's got to be the worst road ever.
It is terrible. You sort of cut onto it a different way. But
really doesn't make you appreciate Stonehenge at all.
But it's weird how fast you go as soon as you get past it, because everyone's driving like that, looking at it.
No,
But anyway, I hope you have a much faster journey back. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Cheers.